Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this is Combat Sports News, and on today's video, we're going to be doing a WWE TLC 2018 preview and predictions video. Feel free, if listening into the infantry in the live comments, to put down your previews, your thoughts on the upcoming pay-per-view tomorrow evening, your predictions as well for some of the big matches, and if you're listening post-live, feel free as well to put any thoughts and comments you wish down below in the comment section. I'll respond to each and every one of them. Apologies about lack of content from yours truly. Been a busy bee. It's Christmas time, starting to slow down slowly but surely. 12 matches on this card. Again, I'm using Wikipedia, and apparently there's nothing on the pre-show yet. So apparently nothing's been announced. Eesh. But we'll go down. So we'll work our way from the top to the bottom. I'm going to look at this card, and looking at it in paper, you got some matches on here which, in my opinion, could be fucking barn burners and some really great matches. And there's a couple of things that don't really interest me. But apart from that, I think it should be a solid night's wrestling. Whether the booking and storylines will make any sense at all, who knows? But I also want to touch upon the ratings as well. People have been losing their mind about the ratings. There's obviously a new show as well, so I'm going to put bits and pieces in as we progress. Nick Miller as well been released. Whether that's him, apparently him wanting to be with his family, which fair enough, makes sense. It's just, what's Shane Thorne going to do now? Because obviously Nick Miller, part of the Mighty Don't Kneel, former Noah guys. I wish they could get back to Noah. I mean, Noah's absolutely fired this past year. Lots of people putting in their wrestler of the year, Takeshi Sugiura. Absolutely agree with that, 110%. But with that in mind, him leaving is a bit of a bit shit for Shane Thorne. I do feel for the guy. Where were we? Raw ratings, before we get down to this, have been drastically getting lower and lower, which is very worrying. Obviously, me as a fan, I want more fans to be watching the products. I want the ratings to go higher. But at the same time, the show hasn't been great, and the ratings are reflecting that. So Vince McMahon has been announced to be on Raw on Monday night. And apparently they're doing a double tapings as well because of Christmas Day and Christmas season. But I never tend to watch the Christmas editions of Raw and SmackDown anyway, so that's not a me problem, that's a them problem. But I'm going to work my way from matches I'm not that interested in to peak interest. So Fabulous Truth, R Truth and Carmella versus Mahalisha. I've never watched Mixed Match Challenge, do apologize, which is Mahal and Alicia Fox. And the finals of the Mixed Match Challenge. This should be fun. I'm expecting it to be that. Just fun, comedy, them goofing around. It'll serve its purpose. It'll be in the middle of the show. Again, suppose whether it'll be on the pre-show, I don't know. I think it should be on the pre-show and available on Facebook. Because the whole fucking tournament's been on Facebook. Makes sense, logistically. But, it's only in logic. Sometimes they don't, cross paths. But prediction-wise, remember, the winner of the Mixed Match Challenge this season, the male will enter number 30 in the Rumble, and the female will enter number 30 in the Rumble. So, I don't know. I'll go. My prediction is Fabulous Truth. That's my prediction, that they'll be number 30. And then we have, okay, where are we? So we've done that one. Now I'll just go from the bottom upwards because it gets better as it goes on. So Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match. You guys know I'm a big fan of Randy Orton. I think the guy is absolutely incredible. If you said, hey, look, okay, guns your head, you have to name your top 5 pro wrestlers in the world right now, I'd still have Randy Orton up there. I think the guy's absolutely incredible. Watching everything, his ring positioning, just the mannerisms, his heel run is just absolutely brilliant. Top notch. He has a gorgeous dropkick as well. And Mysterio. Everyone loves Ray. I think this is going to be a great match. I really enjoyed their match from SmackDown a couple weeks back. Expecting them to have a similar match here, chairs match. Expecting maybe a 619 with a chair. Maybe springboard. Maybe then go for a springboard and RKO onto a chair. Who knows what they're going to do? Lots of stuff they could do. And that's the thing with Orton and Mysterio. They're to the all-time best. So they're going to come up with something cool. Hopefully for a finish-wise. It's going to be fascinating watching that. Speaking of fascinating, I watched the final battle as well last night. I watched half of it live, and then I watched up until the World Title match live, and then I woke up about 11 a.m. I watched the Cody and Lethal match, and then watched the Ladder War, which was great, and the Elite departing from Ring of Honor. I'll make a video on that as well, possibly later on or tomorrow, because I'm gonna have some time to kill before the pay-per-view. But all Mysterio prediction-wise, I didn't get my prediction. I'm gonna go Ray because he hasn't had a big win yet. This could be a big win for him, and Orton had the advantage of him taking the mask off Mysterio, so the heel was in control, so this, make it logical and have the babyface get the win. And this, for me, should be a Royal Rumble qualifying match, just again as a fan. That's what I would do. Then Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight title. No need to take the title off Buddy Murphy yet. This is Alexander's rematch. I think this is going to be great. The match at Super Showdown, I think it was, where Murphy won the title in Australia, was great. And 205 Live is great. I said this on one of the other shows. So I'm hoping they do something. Just give them a bit of time. I really enjoyed Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali at Survivor Series. I think that's one of the better matches of the show. But I am excited for this one. 205 Live is my favorite division, if you will, minus NXT UK, but I'm biased because I'm from the UK, so I have an interest in that. But 205 Live is great, and I wish more people checked it out. It is generally a good, solid 45 minutes of wrestling, and they're building some good characters. The wrestling's always on point, and this should be good. I don't know why this shouldn't kick off the show. I generally don't know why this should not kick off the show, because then, like, remember back in the day with the old school WCW pay-per-views where the cruiserweights would come out and they would have an absolute barn burner and kick off the pay-per-view. That's not alcohol, by the way. Monster Energy Ultra Zero. Just wanted you to know I'm not fucking getting smashed on the show. But prediction wise, keep the belt on Murphy. It's doing great. Him and Nisa teaming up at the minute on the 205 Live, so that's all good with me. It's all well and dandy. It's not English saying. Then we have Natalya versus Ruby Riott in a tables match. Lots of people as well getting in a kerfuffle about this on the social media about Natalya and using Jim Neidhart, which is Natalya's father who's passed away. I kind of don't have that strong of an opinion either way. I think it's up to her, the talent. I think if Natalya's fine with it, and Natalya's like, yeah, sure. I remember I read an article where she said specifically that she felt as a human being that her father would approve this. Obviously, her father being a former pro wrestler would understand that. And I think this is a direct quote, that fans like and want to get emotionally attached. So, as a fan, you want to get emotionally attached. But that's the thing. If this was, 1998, we would be attached. But because it's 2018, we can complain, we can moan as fans. So it does, make some sense why people are getting angry. I understand both points. If you're angry, respect that. Tilt my cap to you. If you're not angry and you're like, this is some good storylines, tilt my cap to you. I'll be as unbiased as you can be. And then we have my prediction there, Natalya. It has to be. I may lose my marbles if Natalya doesn't get a comeuppance. It's booking 101. Natalya will get her comeuppance. It has to. She has to. At some point, sometime, the babyfaces have to win. Okay, it's wrestling. It's fucking wrestling. Can we stop overcomplicating this stuff? It's wrestling. It's great. It's amazing. Story like this: Ruby Riott tortures Natalya. Natalya wins. Everyone's happy. Natalya moves on. Ruby Riott moves on. See you later. Catch your ass down the line. Boom. We ain't no rocket scientists or brain surgeons. It's fucking common sense. Then we have the Bar versus the New Day versus the Usos in a triple threat tag title match for the SmackDown belts. This should be great. I remember there was a three-way, not last week, the week before, with Cesaro, Xavier, and one of the Usos, and I thought that was great. So you had them all. It should be a really good match. Prediction-wise, keep the belts on the bar. Let's not hotshot these belts around as much as they've already have been. I think that's a bit dangerous. But as a whole, you got 6 great wrestlers. It shouldn't be bad. This should kick off the show. Either this or the... I think Ray Orton will kick off the show, personally. Like, if I was in charge, if I was booking this shit, I'd have this 3-way tag. But I think they're going to go Ray versus Orton to kick off the show because the crowd will like it and dig it a lot. Sorry, I just got a message vibrating. It really irritated me. Good match, though, as a whole. Respect every one of those wrestlers a lot. Yeah, Cesaro and Sheamus are great as a team, and that's this thing, I was listening to the Taz show, and he didn't specifically say it, but he kind of hinted at it. So if you read between the lines, listen between the lines, he stated about how, tag team wrestlers want to be, world champion. Everyone gets in the wrestling industry to become world champion. It's common sense. Who goes, I want to be a fucking really good tag team champion one day. Unless you're kind of brothers going in, it's kind of not going to happen. But what they took is with Cesaro and Sheamus, the 2 guys who weren't doing much singles wise. They really weren't, and they've taken them and they've molded them into a team which I fucking love. I really, really rate them and think they're great. Excuse me. Then we have Elias versus Bobby Lashley in a ladder match. A guitar will be suspended above the ring, and the first to retrieve it can use it as a weapon. So I'm presuming we're going to be pinfall. I'm presuming that's what we're going to be doing and rocking and rolling with that. Why the ladder match is this and not, the Buddy Murphy Cedric Alexander? I think that should be a ladder match. I think that could be a fucking banger of a match. But it is what it is. Again, Lashley and Leah Rush have been torturing Elias. But that's the thing, though, with Raw. I've kind of been saying this the whole damn time. Everything is the heels, the heels, the heels, the heels, and the faces just don't win. So whether they're doing this big long heels win on Raw so that their baby faces can win on the pay-per-view, kind of redeem themselves in that extent, possibly. I really don't know. But Elias, I think you should give Elias the win heading into the Rumble. Build him strong heading into the Rumble. I think that would be some good booking. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre, I think, will be a really good match. Prediction. I think you really got to start building up McIntyre. I think you really, really got to start building up McIntyre. In the grand scheme of things, I was picturing this the other day. I was sit back and picturing, some matches which I think could be possible. And I'm a visual guy, so like I wouldn't expect you to put me in a ring with Brock and think, okay, LK's got him. No, no, son. Picture Drew McIntyre in the ring with Brock. You could have him. I think Drew, could have him in a fight if it was a legit shoot. Oh, if it was a shoot, obviously Brock's fucking wrestling ability, but if it was a shoot fight, quote fight, not rules and stuff, McIntyre had a fair shot. So I wish they kind of did stuff like that a bit more, built him up. I would have Drew McIntyre win this one because I just think he should look strong heading into the Rumble. And then we have Lynch versus Charlotte versus Asuka in a Triple Threat TLC's match for the SmackDown Women's title. This is going to be great. Lots of people think Becky Lynch is going to lose this one because she's going to win the Rumble. Fair enough. Put the belt on Asuka. The crowd response for Asuka has been brilliant. Really, really has. You cannot deny it. You cannot deny the incredible reaction that the crowd has given for Asuka. So 100% I'm on the Asuka bandwagon. I'm rooting for Asuka in that one for sure as a fan. Quote as a fan. Then we have Daniel Bryan versus AJ in a singles match for the WWE belt. Oh shit! Sorry, Vince. For the WWE World Championship. This should be great. That's just two of the best in the world. They just no stories, no weapons. I just want to see AJ and Bryan go out there for 30 minutes and just do what they do, so I can sit back. I can have one of my 95,000 Monster energy drinks. I always have the white one. So if you ever see me on the street, you fucking buy me a fucking white Monster Energy Ultra, 0 sugar, 0 calories, looking after myself in my prime. And fucking these two just let me sit back, relax, open up a can, and just be happy. Life doesn't matter whether you've got stresses, whether you've got concerns. And that's what I think, watching wrestling. And obviously some people watch it differently. Some people watch it because maybe they're reviewing it, or some people watch it because they, analyze it. Some people watch it because they do whatever. I just want to sit back, relax, and just watch it and enjoy. Just as a fan, I'm not looking for footwork. I'm not, oh, that was a good collar and elbow. I'm sitting back, and that needs to be done more, by the way. Collar and elbow types, just putting it out. That wrestling industry start doing that more. Oh, anyway. Oh, so many fucking tangents. I want to sit back, relax, and just enjoy it because those two are just absolutely brilliant. I don't want to see any fucking bullshit DQ finishes. I don't want to see it. I want to watch them wrestle. I want a clean finish. Predictions. Bryan, keep the belt on Bryan. Give him a guitar reign. This new heel stuff is doing well. Build AJ up for the Rumble. Another potential, challenger. Unless they do a 2 out of 3 falls match at the Rumble, I have no idea, nor much interest. But I am interested in this match because I hope they get given a lot of time. Even though there is 12 matches on this show, and I don't know how long. Wait a minute, are these pay-per-views 4 hours now? Someone in the inventory, can you help me out here? Are these pay-per-views 4 hours? Because I'm again traditionalist. 3 hours are a pay-per-view. But if this is 4 hours, then that makes sense. Then this could go long. And we have Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Belt. This should be fun. Hopefully. Keep the belt on Rousey and get Rousey versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Boom. Then we have Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin in a TLC match, where if Strowman wins, he'll receive the Universal Championship match at the Royal Rumble, and Corbin will be stripped of all authoritative power. And if Corbin wins, he'll become the full-time general manager of Raw. Strowman to win, Corbin to be lose all the power on Monday when Vince is there. Boom. Vince announces the new general manager, and it's Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's back. Blah, 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 blah. Poof. This should be fun, though. Hopefully. The thing is, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a contrast of what you're watching the whole night, and I think that's where they've kind of got this pay-per-view right. And again, I'm trying to see this as kind of I know lots of people are bashing this pay-per-view. Again, I'm trying not to, due to reasons. I'm trying to look at it as an unbiased, just as a sitting back and watching as a fan, and trying to watch as a fan, and not over analyzing footwork or positioning or anything like that. And as a card, looking at this, the way they've built this, there's a bit of everything. You got a bit of comedy with the Truth and Maharaja match. You got your seriousness in your wrestling purists with your Bryan and AJ and your Baylor and Drew. You then got your high flying stuff. You got Murphy and Alexander. You got the casual fans of Ray and Orton. You got your women's stuff in there. I think you've got a good mix of wrestling on this show. So I think I will tilt my cap to them. How they've been built, not so great. But this one is going to be different again. Not expecting many big bumps, but hopefully they're safe. Important thing. Yeah, that's the most important thing, that they're safe. And then Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose in a singles match for the WIC title. This should be the ladder match. Unless, and hear me out, they're doing a singles match here, and then at the Rumble, they do a last man standing match. Ambrose wins, and then at Mania, we get Ambrose versus Strowman for the IC title. That's how I would do it. That's what I would do if I ever became in the book for this Z pay-per-view. I'm going to have a quick look for the live chat on this good show. Oh, unbelievable. Right, here we go. The Foster Club. So prediction, Lashley, and Lashley. We got a Bobby Lashley fan there, Mr. The Foster Club. Yeah, I do agree. I think Bobby Lashley is great, and he looks great. And Lashley versus Brock is another one. If Lashley was built credibly, he built legitimately and not kind of just thrown together. If they actually put time and effort in, I think they really could build Bobby Lashley up as a credible threat to Lesnar. The Foster Club says Facebook wants the files on pay-per-view for some reason. I wouldn't be surprised if they're on the main card. That's interesting. Why would they want that on pay-per-view? So I'm Facebook and I'm promoting the network instead of the network promoting Facebook. Whatever rocks their boat. Hannah Jamal said, I haven't watched Raw SmackDown in a while. Is TLC even worth watching? I haven't watched Raw SmackDown in a couple of weeks. But, I mean, you got Bryan AJ on there. You got the Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Asuka stuff. Baylor Drew. As a fan, I'll enjoy. Mysterio Orton, I'll enjoy. As a wrestling card, without overanalyzing, without, analytically breaking this thing down as a pure wrestling card from top to bottom, it's solid. It is a solid wrestling card. If there was no booking, if there was no WWE creative, having 19 cooks in the kitchen, this should be a great pay-per-view. There's no reason why Murphy and Alexander can't have a barn burner, why Mysterio and Orton can't have a classic, why Bryan and AJ can't have a purest dream, why Rollins and Ambrose can't tear the house down. This is a good wrestling card. And if you say otherwise, I think you're a bit ignorant. I think, I watch the build-up. But as a wrestling card, without having any outside information, this is a good wrestling card. Whether the storylines, whether the title matches are making sense, I'm not counting that. I'm counting this as a one-on-one matches. These are good matches, in paper, and that's what I'm trying to do here for the people who haven't, like Hannah Jamal, who haven't been watching Raw, because I'm in the same boat. I'm not one of these guys who watch Raw and SmackDown. And if you do, fair fucking play to you. I just struggle to find time. Just because it's so long and there's so much damn content that we produce every day. The Foster Club, only if the SmackDown women are main eventing. If Corbin, Braun, then don't bother. Well, if that's the case, I can tune out early because I've got to be up at 9 a.m. for work. So the pay-per-views are 1 to 4. Well, again, if they might be 4 hours long still. I have no idea. If they're 4 hours long, I watch probably 12 till 2:30ish, 3, depending on the main event. If the main event is the women's, I may have to stay up and be a moody Englishman on Monday. But I got Tuesday off, so I may watch it live and then get like 4 or 5 hours sleep, and then get loads of sleep on the Monday evening. So I'm off Tuesday evening. I'm off all Tuesday, to be fair. Sorry. The Foster Clubs, I don't ask her to win now. That means she'll just lose it to Charlotte later on. That's true. It just depends on what they're going to do at WrestleMania, isn't it? That is just definitely the case. Anna Brown says, I wonder what Vince is going to do on Raw this Monday. I think that he's going to do a superstar shakeup. I think that's my prediction. Just put it out. Strowman might squash Corbin. That's a banging shout there, Adam Brown. That is a banging shout. The Foss Club says, announces the return of Gary Stridham. I don't know who that is. Maybe I'm the most out of touch human being alive, but I generally don't know who that is. Let's get back to the comment about what Vince is going to do. I think it's a superstar shakeup, or it'll be to announce Kangle or announce a new GM, because obviously Strowman beating Corbin. That's my prediction. Superstar shakeup or announce, because the superstar shakeup will make sense around Christmas time, because then it'll make people want to watch it Christmas time. Otherwise, people are not going to watch it Christmas time and forget about it because it's not interesting. But there we have it, guys. Thank you very much for the live comments. Do appreciate it. Apologies, lack of content from yours truly. I've just been mega busy as fuck. Just absolute mental. It's all of a sudden it's just all cruff, but it's starting to slow down, starting to wind it down as we approach the Christmas period, which is fucking great. Starting to actually be home a bit more, which is great, I guess. So with that in mind, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, leave in the comments. Thank you, Internet Infantry, for watching live. This has been LK from KocoSports.net. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll be catching your asses down the line.